Hello and welcome back to Remnant 2. Today we're going to be taking a look at the gun Savior. It's a unique gun that you can unlock for completing the story mode in Hardcore. It doesn't have to be on any of the hard difficulties or anything like that. You can complete it on Survivor and that'll unlock the gun. So if you really want to get it and you don't really want to stress out too hard about it, just do it on Survivor, man. I mean, it's still going to be a challenge because, it's Hardcore. Make any mistake and you're donezo. You have to start over, but just do it on Survivor, man. The gun itself is pretty cool. It is a fusion rifle. It's going to do fusion rifle things. So if you've used any of them, you're going to have a basic idea. Performs a little bit like a bow. It's going to have quick shots that you can do for less damage. You could fully charge or draw the weapon, and that'll do more damage. And then if you get that perfect shot, it's going to do even more damage. On the whole, does great, just fusion rifle things. And then the mod ability is Shatterstar, so it's going to basically enhance it with hot shot, so it's going to do fire damage, catch them on fire for 10 seconds and deal burning damage. And then it's got another part with it too, where when you do weak spot hits or kills, it's going to shatter and then split off and hit enemies around them for 30% of the initial damage dealt, and then apply burning. It's really cool. It's pretty fun. It can really clear out a group of enemies. It's pretty solid. I really enjoy it. Now there's three main ways that I go about kind of building around this weapon, right? That I would consider anyways. And I'm by no means the end-all be-all expert of all things. So the first way I would kind of look at when I'm making a build around this gun is to just focus on the fusion rifle aspect of it. And that's really going to be using two main things, right? The first one is a mutator, and that's going to be the supercharger mutator. It increases our charge speed for bows and fusion rifles. At level 10, that's a 30% increase. And then when you've got the charge shots, it's going to give it another 15% crit chance, which is pretty solid because fusion rifles deal a lot of damage. And so having an increased crit chance on them is pretty nice. And then if you're going to do that and you're going down that route or you're just focusing on the fusion rifle gunplay aspect of it, I would also put on the Archer's Crest because that's going to increase that charge time again, or decrease the charge time. And it makes you able to do quick back-to-back perfect charge shots. Really nice. So if you're really good at getting them and you just want that aspect of the gun, that's what I would do. Archer's Crest, the supercharger mutator, and then from there, maybe focus on some critical hits. You could put on the oh man, I can't remember what it's called. I already forgot it. Just used it in the build. You could put on the probability cord, increasing that crit damage, which again, the fusion rifles deal a lot of damage, and so increasing that crit damage by another 30% could turn into quite a lot. And just focus around that aspect of it. And let me show you how big of a difference the charge time is if you're not familiar. So this is baseline with no modifiers on the charge speed. That's fully charged. Then you get kind of sweet spot in there like that. And now we can put on the supercharger. We'll go ahead and do that one first. And now we see how much faster that is. It's a little bit faster, right? And it's got that extra crit chance, which is nice. And now we put on the Archer's Crest. And now we'll see how fast it's going too, because that's an extra, 25% right there. And 30% there. So it's a 55% increase in the charge time. Or decrease, whatever. You know what I mean. Look how fast that is. And you're doing 2,800 damage on a critical hit with no other modifiers. Throw on the probability cord and watch those numbers climb up even more. Here we go. 1,800, 1,800. Come on. Where's that critical hit? Nope. No critical hits for me. Jeez. 3,300. There we go. All right. So you can get some pretty gnarly damage with the thing. So that's the first way I would build around it. Baseline, real simple, not going into details. Supercharger, Archer's Crest, and then just build around gunplay. However you like to really do it. I would probably say critical hit just because, this is already giving it another 15% critical chance. So, naturally builds into it. Now, the next two ways that I really look around, look at building this gun or building around the gun involve its mod, because that's where it's really unique. If you're just building around gunplay, it's all about getting the charge shots. For this one, we're going to focus on the mod. And one way is to just make it last for a very long time. So baseline, without any additional mod duration, it is going to last for 20 seconds, which is it's a respectable time. It's the same duration as hot shot, I believe. Let's see right here. Yeah, 20 seconds. And it also catches them on fire for 10 seconds. So, on the whole, pretty comparable. Hot shot increases the damage by 15%, whereas this one doesn't. but I think overall with some of the other effects is well worth it, right? So you could build around the duration, and you could do that with the Lemire sensor. So you could throw that thing on there, which is right about here. It's increasing it by another 50%, but it increases the mod cost by 15%. So instead of being like 1250, it's now costing almost 1500 mod power. So like that, it's something to keep in mind. It can make it pretty pricey there, right? And then we can go into our rings. We're going to go to Zoe's band or Zoe's ring, increasing it by another 15%. And then when we go over into this one, we look over and there's going to be a mod duration right about here. Another 15% there. Let's take off the elemental damage so we see some baseline damage. And now we've got 36 seconds. 36 seconds of mod is a really long time. Because when you're used to just having like 20 seconds and then suddenly, you know, you're looking at like almost a 75% increase into the duration. Which actually, hold on, let me double check. 50%, 65, 80%. It is over 75%. 80% longer on the mod duration, right? It's pretty stellar. It's pretty amazing. I really like it. I like it quite a lot because it can last the entire fight. Like, if you're like, oh my goodness, here comes a horde of dudes, activate it. Generally more than enough to last the entire duration of the fight. And, you know, the big problem is you've got to charge it up. You know, you can't charge it while it's active. So, like, that's kind of the main downside of it. And then if that's what you're doing there, like, you can't really enhance the mod damage. You have to just focus on the elemental damage, which then leads us into the third way and the main way I'm going to be showing you how I build it. And that's to just enhance the fire damage, because when you activate the mod, what does it do? Fire damage. So that's what we're going to do. And the way I'm going to do that is with the Sun Talisman, which is right here, increasing our fire damage by 20% and burning damage by 50%. So now we're looking at 1087 fire damage. And then we're going to also look at the Flamestone Ring, which is right about... there it is. Firestone Ring. Another 10% for the fire damage. So there's another 100 damage on the burning. Now, obviously, you could go with, like, Burden of the Destroyer, Stone of Balance. You could go Singed Ring, you know, something like that. And, you know, get some good value out of those because obviously they're really strong. From there, what am I going to look at? I've got a couple other things I want to do. One of the things was the way we're building, because we're focusing on the burning damage, we need to make sure the mod is always charged. So there's two rings I'm going to be looking at when using it, and that's going to be the Spirit Stone, increasing mod power generation by 10%. And then we're also going to go ahead and just throw on the Cataloger's Jewel, which is a ring that I really like for mod generation because it's just a passive 8 mod power per second. So it's going to kind of help us out outside of combat situations and sort of in the middle of the fights as well. So I just generally really like it. And then the last one I'm going to mess with, because the burning effects are pretty potent for us, we're enhancing it by quite a bit. There's a really strong ring to do for that, and that's going to be the Red Ring of Death. So even though it decreases our, like, status effect damage by 10%, putting out 2 stacks of burning is pretty good. So instead of doing like 80 damage per second, we're going to be doing like 77 times 2. So we're doing a lot more damage. It's pretty nice. Now the next thing I'm going to kind of switch out, and this is something I bounce around with, right? Because I'm focusing on the mod. Increasing mod damage is not going to do anything. So things like failsafe, not really going to help us. Feedback, again, not going to help us. Like, it's just, there's a lot of these things that aren't really doing a lot for us when they're focusing on the mod. Now, we could naturally go for Supercharger because it is a fusion rifle. We could maybe lean into some other status effect thing. We could do the Maelstrom so it does that effect, which I'm not really interested in. The main one that I'm looking at doing is Battery. So it's going to increase our weak spot damage by 20% for every 400 mod power spent by the weapon's mod. And it stacks 3 times, lasting 10 seconds. Now our mod costs $12.50, which means one use of our mod immediately puts us at max stack. So we're going to do 60% more weak spot damage. And then, because Battery is at level 10, we've got another 10% critical chance on our weak spot hits as long as we have those max stacks. So this provides a lot of burst damage when we first activate our mod, like a lot, you know, 60% more bonus damage on weak spots, 10% crit chance. It gives it a lot of damage. It's pretty impressive. So when we're aiming down, we activate it, like start charging in. It takes a long time, 2800. We got 73 damage burning twice a second. And then if we can ever get a critical hit, I mean, it can get close to like freaking 5,000 damage. I've seen it do like 4,800 damage. I mean, critical hit 2,300, 2,200 there as opposed to like the 2,800. It's a difference. And one of the things about this too, like, and this is a problem that I have with fusion rifles, is I always want to get a perfect shot every single time. When in reality, you don't have to do that. If you're going to kill a guy with a quick little tap, just do the quick little tap. There's no reason to sit there and try and charge it up and then hit the dude. Absolutely not. Just quick pow, just quick tap, especially when you have the mod activated, because now it's just doing a bunch more damage. It's catching them on fire, and when you hit them in the weak spot, it's going to immediately shatter and hit a lot of dudes. So you don't even have to be trying to get that perfect shot. Like, you're just send bullets down range, man, and hit the dudes. And that's it. Done deal. Now, the rest of the setup that I've got going on, because everything I've got set up is specifically for what I'm doing right now. I've got Hunter as my primary because I kind of want to give some extra enhanced effects to just my range damage, range, crit chance, weak spot hits. Hunter's mark is really nice, and I can get some extra ammo drops. So that's why I've got Hunter going on. It would kind of make sense, right, to use like the Ritualist for some of the extra like status effect damage and stuff like that. But I've been using the Ritualist a lot. I don't want to do that. I want to enhance some generic like gunplay, right? And then my secondary I'm running is the Medic because I want to get a generic damage increase across the board. So 25% damage to all my things is just nice. Plus the extra survivability from all the skills that I have on the Medic is just also nice. Now my traits are kind of weird. I've done a little bit more different things than I might normally do. We've got the long shot and triage from our archetypes. I've got some of my standard like defensive things. So I've got points in regrowth. I've got points in fortify. I've got points into vigor. But then I also put 10 points into ammo reserves because fusion rifles tend to be a little tight on the ammo. And so I really didn't want to ever run out of ammo. I always wanted to be using this fusion rifle. I didn't want to use anything else, so I maxed that out. And then I have on a full set of heavy armor because I wanted the root look. The gun is kind of root looking, right? And so I wanted to just have a nice kind of root armor on. And then I wanted a medium roll. So I put 5 points into strong back just so I had like that nice medium roll. You only need 4 points with this armor set, but I just can't leave 4 points in something. It basically has to be 5 or 10. I've got points in spirit because we want to make sure we're charging up that mod quickly anytime it's off cooldown. And then I've got points in Siphoner because we're catching dudes on fire. So being able to get some extra like lifesteal off of all the burning effects and just the big base damage from the fusion rifles is kind of nice. And then there's just some more of my other like quality of life stuff, endurance, recovery, expertise. Put some points in bark skin, fitness. With a bark skin and fortify, we're now at 50% damage reduction, which is okay because we're playing on Apocalypse. We're playing on Apocalypse. And then one of the things we're going to want in here is our relic. We've got health on there. We've got mod duration because it's just kind of nice. And I think we were going to be better off with getting some elemental damage. But, you know, it might be worth it to do maybe some mod cost. How much does it cut that down to from 1250 down to 1125? Not really. We could just do the elemental damage. This is 1087 right now. We'll swap that out and we'll put in the elemental damage right about here. So now we're looking at that nice 1162. There we go. Good deal. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to go out and get some gameplay going on. I've rambled on for nearly 15 minutes, which is a long time, I guess, because I was talking about all the different setups that I kind of messed around with. But, yeah, what are you going to do? We're going to clear out the Widow's Court, and then we're going to take on the Corruptor boss for Yesha and just generally see how it goes. Downside with this kind of build, specifically this build that we're doing right here, if you fight anything that's in the water, the burning effects do nothing. The fire damage in general just seems to do less damage, so like it really cripples a build. You're going to be better off doing some other kind of setup. Alright, so we're going to run through Endaira again. I've already been through here before, but Widow's Court just doesn't have very good like mob density, so it wasn't giving you a lot of good, just generic, just mob enemy, trash enemy gameplay. So we're going to go through here just to kind of show you what it can do. So as we move up here, you know, I know there's dudes right up here, right? Now, what we could maybe do is, if we activate the mod right now, maybe we can see if it actually splits and hits guys that far away. I'm not sure it will, but we'll try. I mean, single shot, not fully charged, it's going to burn dudes down. Now, there's no water, but now he's burning. There it is. There's no burning because there was water. But with all that enhanced damage from, you know, our fire effects and stuff, like, we don't even have to fully charge it, right? Like, we don't even need the perfect shots. You just quick tap them in the face, and then they die. And even if you don't get that weak spot hit, you know, they burn down. So it's very solid. It's really only for when you've got the not like mod power gameplay going on that I really feel like I need to make sure I get some like perfect shots and stuff. And even then, I don't even feel like it's super necessary. So we're going to get it reloaded. We're going to need to make sure we get the mod charged so that we are ready to deal with a big horde of enemies. So now it's ready. We're going to give it a second and see if a bunch of them can kind of like get together. Oh, there they are, trying to flank me. All right, it's activated again. We're going to try and split it between them, right? When we finish a dude off, there it goes. And you can see it does that split and immediately finishes off that other dude. Catches him on fire, does a good amount of damage. And when there's like multiple enemies around, you know, like 3, 4, 5, it splits off, hits all of them. Hits them all. They all catch on fire. They all take damage. And so you can quickly clear a big group of enemies if that's what you're actually facing. Didn't quite get him in the face. I was hoping to get that. That's several dudes there. That would have been a great spot for it right there. But unfortunately, obviously not going to work for us. We weak shot him, or not weak shot him. We staggered him, and then we get him in the face with a weak shot. And you can see we're not having any problems with ammo right now, with extra ammo reserves. We're getting plenty of drops thanks to weak spot hits, critical kills, all that kind of stuff. I can't seem to hit this dude for the life of me. Catch him with a fire sword, and then he burns down. And that's a good thing, too. Right now, the setup that I'm doing, I'm really, you know, focusing... Oh, God, clone. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. Oh, hi, friend. Let's activate this. Back up now. Oh, back up, please, for the love of the Lord. Okay, there he goes. Roll. Get ready to avoid the clone effect. There it is. And then we can try and finish him. He's slowed down for some reason. That was really weird. Who's over there? I see you. We need to watch out for the clone effect again here in a moment. Once it goes off, then we'll use our healing effect. Our little, like, healing well. Get this reloaded. Roll forward. And then just start going. 1800, 1200, 1230. Whoop. It's almost fully charged again. If we actually give it a second, it'll charge on its own. I messed up. Back away. Oh, no, thank you. Almost. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't trying to shoot my clone in the face earlier. I'm not really sure what I was thinking. But that worked out pretty well. I say it worked out pretty well. It would have been better if I had just used the Hellfire gun. It would have been better if I just used my flamethrower, because the dude was on top of me. And I think that's where this build kind of struggles. If you've got a dude who's like durable and right on top of you, it can kind of have a hard time, because you're not taking them out in the one shot, which is what this build really likes. You know, the burning isn't finishing them off for you. Like, it's doing damage, which is great, but it doesn't finish them. And so having something like the Hellfire to like burn a dude who's right in front of you is pretty nice. But let's go ahead, we'll do this last wave, and then I'll show you guys the boss fight and call it good, because the video is already pretty long, so I don't want it to drag on any longer than it has to. Let's get it fully charged, maybe? Thank you. Almost there. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Now, there we go. All right. There we go. 5,000 damage, because that's the power of battery, is you can do a ton of damage thanks to battery. Like 5,000 damage, dude. That's a lot. There's a lot of damage. Oh, please hit him. There we go. Man, I was really hoping to get some more, like, quick, like, big group splits, but they're just, the enemies are not wanting to cooperate right now, which is why I would like to know if, you know, resonance or amplitude actually affects how far it can, like, split and, like, hit dudes, because if it enhances how far it can go, I would put points in there, because being able to split and hit more dudes in a large radius would be pretty amazing. Whoop. We're gonna go ahead and drop a healing well, and then I guess clear these guys out, and then yeah, show you the boss like I said I was gonna do. Oh, maybe come on. Oh, hit him, please. I didn't even see, like, that one. I feel like it should have split and hit that other dude. It didn't do it, and I cannot hit him. Like, good lord. It's definitely not because I've been drinking. That's definitely not the problem. Hold still. There we go. Oh, an elite dude again. Okay. We're gonna move away. Gonna heal. And he throws out his bullcrap, right? So we can actually do some pretty nasty damage to that, I'm sure. 3,000. 3,000. Roll away from that. I would like to hit him with some more mod fire would be pretty cool. But we gotta get that charged. There we go. Now it's charged. Let's activate it. Boom. There we go. Of course, it didn't hit him, but maybe... Oh, ow. That was a lot of damage, I guess. Oh, no, it didn't have much health. So, generic trash gameplay. Does solid damage. Burning works really well. The split, I'm telling you, it does good work. When you got dense groups of mobs, it can split and just wipe dudes out, which is fantastic because the fusion rifles have such limited ammo. But let's get you to the boss and show you that. I think we could probably get some pretty decent value out of it, right? I think so, anyways. There could be some good potential for taking out the arms and it splitting and hitting a bunch of arms at the same time. Things like that. Let's go. Elemental resistance? Of course, you know. Why wouldn't it be that? Because it's not like I have fire damage going on or something. Let's go ahead and activate it now. And then just get some shots going on. It's fire damage. There it goes. I didn't get the split off because I think the, you know, the, whatchamacallit, the fire is what killed the dude. And then we just kind of avoid some of those shots. Get some weak spot hits right there. Just some quick taps. And then here in a moment, whenever I have actually finished getting... Oh, we're going to activate our... What's it called right now? Hunter's Mark, so we can get some awesome weak spot hits. It's already fully charged. So one more quick tap, and then we'll reload. Get the mod ready to go. Now, we got to watch out for the bird, so I'm actually going to drop this down to kind of heal us up to avoid some of their damage. And then, come on, get in close. Activate a relic now, maybe, just to kind of charge our Hunter's Mark up again. And then maybe with this splitting off, it'll take care of some of those pesky birds. 4,000 damage on some of those hits is pretty awesome. We did a lot of damage there, I feel like. I didn't really watch how much it was really at when we first started, but it feels like I did a lot. We're going to need to move, though, because old boy's going to start blasting. And then play it safe from here. Boom. Boom. One more. Get it reloaded now. And then just watch out for that, right? I was hoping to get a weak spot hit, but I guess I was a little late. Roll that. Get ready to... We're going to kind of hang out here because I want him, the Corruptor, to move to this island or lane. Just like that. And then we'll dodge over it. If you go too early when he's still on the other spot, then he's just going to... Oh, fuck me. Heal up, please. There we go. Get it fully charged. Okay, now we got this activated. There we go. It's splitting off, hitting things. Lots of damage here. Nice. Okay, he's dropped. Now, he should not blast me. All right, there it goes. Cool. Let's get some shots on him. Get some extra burning effects. Let's get it reloaded. And then... God, that was a lot of damage. Those stupid birds suck. Now, unfortunately, you know, the mod's not working right here for us because it's obviously having to charge up. We almost got it, though. So if we get it charged up just enough here, we probably just shoot him with, like, baseline damage and be fine. Activate it, and then maybe roll. Oh, Lord. This is going to be a problem. Kind of finish him off. Finish him off. Oh. I should have just been shooting the stupid head the entire... Oh, there he goes. Now he dies. Of course. All right. Oh, we did it. Yeah, I mean, it does plenty of damage, right? Against a boss. Works pretty well. Especially when you're not fighting Keula and she's sitting in the water, so you're not getting any of the water and burning effects and, yeah, you know, all those kinds of things. But, yeah, I mean, worked pretty well there, didn't it? Worked pretty well. Even with elemental resist. Like, they had elemental resist and we were still dealing a ton of damage because fusion rifles deal a ton of damage. Well, that's the end of the video. You know, I hope you enjoyed it. Got some nice little insights on the gun. Maybe inspired you to try and get it because it is really cool. It's a very cool gun. It's a pretty solid fusion rifle. And I think there's like just some nice general flexibility you could do with the thing. You know what I mean? But hey, comment below. Let me know what you think. All that kind of good things. Thanks for checking that out. Always appreciate it when y'all do. You know, it's nice. It's nice. But until the next one, take care.